Hey folks, I am going to, right now I'm getting some mixed signals. All right, we are doing a couple of things here. I'm testing out some of the cameras. I'm testing out the stream in general because, as I mentioned not too long ago, we are continuing to struggle a little bit with getting this thing working the way we want it. And so I'm running a few experiments. I just ran a video a few seconds ago. I apologize because while I can make the YouTube stuff private from the very beginning, I don't want to do that to the Facebook. So I'm just going to go in and make this private as soon as I finish. But I just finished running one with a different microphone setup. And so this time I'm hoping that the audio is a little bit clearer. The last one had a little bit of interference. I think I know why. Listen, a couple of quick announcements because this is a test, so I'm checking for latency and stuff like that, like does my mouth match my words, things like that, but this is also an announcement time. So, as you know, and as I made an announcement earlier this week, that California has lifted mask mandates indoors for people who are vaccinated. And I made an announcement that was correct, that in the church we're going to ask people, especially during worship services, everybody, whether you're vaccinated or not, we're going to ask you to remain masked through the end of the month of June. There's a lot of reasons for that. It has nothing to do with health and safety. It has to do with psychology. It has to do with, well, I guess a little bit to do with being safe. We made a commitment early on as a church leadership to try to take things in steps and also to try to be a couple of weeks after the state and the federal government when we're allowed to open up. And so we've been taking steps. The last few weeks, we've brought back live indoor music. We're going to have a full team, or not a full team, but a fuller team this week with Brett, and I believe some of the DeVal family is playing as well. So it's going to be the closest thing that we've seen yet to our regular worship service. We brought back the nursery. We brought back the youngest children's Sunday school class last week with K through the upper end of elementary, I think K through fifth grade. Typically that's two separate classes, but right now it's one class. So we've made some significant steps and are continuing to. So we're going to ask that people remain masked for the next couple of weeks just to create an opportunity for adjustment, and also because we still have a lot of people who are nervous about coming back into a crowd. And whether I feel nervous about it or not, I want to give up some of my own rights, some of my own comfort level for the sake of others who may not be as comfortable. And so, but beginning in July, if you're vaccinated and you would like to be in the worship service unmasked, you're welcome to do that. You're also welcome to remain masked. And in fact, I will probably remain masked except when I'm preaching, at least off and on for a while, just if for no other reason than to set the example that it is completely acceptable and totally reasonable to come into church and be masked, even if you're vaccinated, anytime. You know, this is true a year from now if we're in flu season and you're worried about getting the flu. This is true if you just have some kind of weird kind of folk. Like, you are totally welcome to be in our church mass. You're totally welcome to kind of create a little space between you and the next person. We're going to honor that going forward as long as we can. So that's one announcement. Second announcement is that change happens for us the first Sunday in July, where if you want to be unmasked, you're welcome to be. The other thing that's happening the first Sunday in July is this year, July 4th, is a Sunday. And while we don't celebrate America in our worship service because worship is about God, we're going to have a barbecue after church in the church courtyard, in the social hall. The church is going to provide hamburgers and hot dogs as we've done in the past, buns, the basic fixings, ketchup, mustard, stuff like that. And we'll provide drinks. And then you provide whatever else you want to eat. If you're comfortable sharing food, feel free to bring some food to share. If you're not comfortable sharing food, that's cool too. Bring your own sandwich from home or something, but enjoy the fellowship. We figure that, worship attendance for the most part so far has been in the upper 30s, low 40s, although that changed substantially last week when we got up into the upper 50s, almost hit 60. We may have hit 60 people in worship when we opened up the children's Sunday school. I expect that to fluctuate a lot during the summer. And my hope and my prayer, and I hope that you will pray with me, is that we will see a gradual comfort level increase throughout the summer so that by the fall, we will be kind of at full strength as a church, and we'll sort of know who we are and who moved and who didn't and who's moved on and who hasn't, and kind of where we're starting from, so that we can then, from a core, begin to reach out again into the community, making a positive impact for Jesus in our neighborhood and neighborhoods. So those are a couple of things I wanted to mention. Then one final thing. We have a very beloved member. Our oldest member is a woman named Margaret Calkins. She is 103 years old. She was a World War II flight nurse, which meant that she was on the team that brought injured soldiers from the front lines and flew them to safer places for medical care. She's probably the oldest living flight nurse from World War II. If she's not the only one, then there's not very many. She's been written up about this in numerous publications. Up until recently, she has been amazingly healthy. Her mind has been completely sharp, like she would talk to you about current events, even though her hearing was difficult when you could communicate. She was like on top of things. We've received calls recently that she's not doing well, that she's in hospice, and that hospice is saying that the end is near. So pray for Margaret. She is going to transition from her frail 103-year-old body into a body of glory and be with Jesus. Pray for her family, people that knew her well, or know her well at this point, and just pray that God's blessing and comfort be on her at this time. Thank you so much. Have a great day. I'm going to go check and see how this video turned out. God bless.